Memorizing scientific vocabulary is crucial for excelling in science. Each term is a tool for understanding complex ideas and communicating effectively. It lays the foundation for success, simplifying the learning of new concepts. Let's focus on building a strong vocabulary. It's a key step in mastering the subject. Abiotic and biotic factors. Abiotic. Things in an environment that are not alive and have never been alive. These are natural objects or conditions that affect living organisms. Example: rocks, water, sunlight, and temperature are all abiotic factors. A rock in a garden is an abiotic factor because it does not grow, eat, breathe, or reproduce. Biotic. All the living parts of an environment, including plants, animals, and microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. Example: in a forest, the trees, birds, insects, and fungi are all biotic factors because they are living and interact with each other. Adaptation. A change in a plant or animal that makes it better suited to live in its environment. Example: a polar bear has thick fur and fat under its skin to keep warm in the cold Arctic. Biodiversity. The variety of different types of life found in an area. This includes all different species of plants, animals, and microorganisms. Example: a tropical rainforest has high biodiversity with many different types of trees, birds, insects, and other animals. Carnivore. An animal that eats only meat. Example: lions and sharks are carnivores because their diet consists mainly of other animals. Decomposer. Tiny organisms that break down dead plants and animals, turning them into nutrients that living plants can use. Example: mushrooms and worms are decomposers that help recycle dead material in the forest. Herbivore. An animal that eats only plants. Example: a rabbit eating grass or a giraffe munching on tree leaves. Omnivore. An animal that eats both plants and meat. Example: humans are omnivores because they eat fruits, vegetables, and also meat and fish. Consumer. An organism that cannot make its own food and must eat other organisms to live. Example: a bird eating a worm is a consumer because it cannot make its own food. Producer. Plants and other organisms that make their own food using sunlight. Example: a tree is a producer because it uses sunlight to make food through photosynthesis. What are abiotic factors in an environment? A. Living organisms like plants and animals. B. Natural objects or conditions that affect living organisms. C. Tiny organisms that break down dead plants and animals. D. Plants and other organisms that make their own food. Which of the following is an example of a biotic factor in a forest ecosystem? A. Sunlight. B. Rocks. C. Birds. D. Temperature. What is adaptation? A. The variety of different types of life found in an area. B. A change in a plant or animal that makes it better suited to its environment. C. An animal that eats only meat. D. Plants and other organisms that make their own food. What does biodiversity refer to? A. An animal that eats only plants. B. The variety of different types of life found in an area. Tiny organisms that break down dead plants and animals. All the living parts of an environment. Which of the following animals is considered a carnivore? A. A rabbit. B. A giraffe. C. A lion. D. A tree. What do decomposers do in an ecosystem? A. They break down dead plants and animals into nutrients. B. They make their own food using sunlight. C. They eat both plants and meat. D. They are tiny organisms that affect living organisms. Which of the following animals is an example of a herbivore? A. A rabbit. B. A lion. C. A shark. D. A human. What is an omnivore? A. An animal that eats only meat. B. An animal that eats only plants. C. An animal that eats both plants and meat. D. An animal that makes its own food using sunlight. What is a consumer in an ecosystem? A. An organism that cannot make its own food and must eat other organisms to live. B. A plant that produces its own food using sunlight. C. An animal that eats only plants. D. A type of rock found in an environment. What are producers in an ecosystem? A. Plants and other organisms that make their own food using sunlight. B. Animals that eat both plants and meat. C. Tiny organisms that break down dead plants and animals. D. All the living parts of an environment. Great job, everyone! You've just completed the quiz and demonstrated your knowledge of these important ecological terms. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you liked this quiz and want to see more educational content like this, please don't forget to hit that like button below and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest videos, quizzes, and valuable information on various topics. Thank you for your participation and support. Stay curious and keep learning. We'll see you in the next video.